Hi, here we are on a wet Saturday. So, is anyone there yet? I've had a funny morning with lots of good intentions and everything not going quite as I planned. So, there we go. Let's hope this goes better and I don't knock anything over. No one there yet? I think in a moment we'll get someone. For anyone new to this, oh hello, there's someone. Anyone new to this, I also do professional, very unusual lessons which enable anybody within the space of 9 hours of very full-on core knowledge to understand the core fundamentals of art. And a number of my students then sell their art in my shop and in shops all over the world, all over Cornwall, and no one realises that they've only learnt art for such a short space of time. So these little lessons are really like old school lessons from when I was a school teacher that I'm doing, and that's just to keep you entertained while you're at home. And so there's a number of these. I think there's about 21 of them up there on all manner of things, on printing, drawing, some sewing things. They're all little arty crafty ideas. They're all quite nice. Yesterday we did a children's pop-up theatre that you could do. And we've done teddy bears a few days ago. We've done all sorts of things. Nurses, doctors, yeah, cards, daffodils, flowers, all sorts of things. So, you know, if you're new to this, the actual lesson will start in 2 or 3 minutes. But each day it's about half an hour of arty crafty things, some new ideas for you to play with and expand on. Other than that though, you can do these lessons if you want to contact me. These are the ones we do pay for. And it's very unusual. It's been used by things like the neuroscientist at Oxford University. Hello, Sandy. 3-hour progress, 10-year-old girl not copying, but understanding core fundamentals. On the Friday, she'd been told to give up art. On Monday, she was drawing better than the teacher. And it wasn't that she could just draw that one face. She could draw anything because she understood how to go about it. 3 hours on perspective. Even architects have said they can't believe what they've learnt. 3 hours on paint and brush technique. After which, 5 lesson progress, 90-year-old stroke victim from there to there. 4 lesson progress, 50-year-old German lady. 3 lesson progress, 40-year-old Sri Lankan man. So it's really fast learning. And then I do commissions, dogs, cats, people, views, architecture, many different things. So keep it in mind. I had a group of doctors doing it yesterday, which is great fun. We did that through Zoom, and my son and I are running children's parties. He's a juggler and he's based in Sydney, Australia, and he's doing the juggling lesson, doing a bit of juggling with you from there, and simultaneously I'm doing art and craft with you from this end. So we're all there together in the one Zoom room, and you can invite quite a few guests. It makes no difference to us really how many you've invited, as long as Zoom will accept it. So I think you can go easily up to about 50 people if you wanted to. So if you want a bit of fun, you could have a juggling and art party and have James coming in from Sydney, Australia, and me here from sunny Cornwall, which is raining today. Okay, so who have I got there? I've got Sandy. Hi, nice to see you. Oh, hello, Hilary. Lovely to see you again. And I hope you enjoyed doing the theatre yesterday. If anyone missed that, I'll just grab it and show you. There was we did a pop-up theatre. So we did a little theatre like this with, oh, I've lost a bit. Was it dropped through? There we go. It's just dropped through. And we had the backdrop at the back, like that. And then we had the extra bits coming in like that. And we even had a little man coming in to act on stage like that. And that was all done with the cereal packet. So if you've made one of those, send it through to me. I didn't actually kind of finish mine. I just showed you roughly what you could do and how to go about it, but we had a gap in the top and things. We've done lots of different things, weaving, all sorts. So today's a bit of a daft one again. And hello, Emily, nice to see you. Hope you've done your theatre. I really want to see that, Emily, and everybody else's as well. Now we'll start in just a moment. I'll give it another couple of minutes. So if anyone wants a children's party, or if anyone wants a full-on art lesson, I also do big team build events. If you go on my website, which is here behind me, you'll see that I did a huge one at the Eden Project with 450 people all working with me at once. And we did the whole psychology of how we can change our outcomes by the way we think about things and our physical position. And then they completed the 20-foot by 10-foot mural, which is by the Mediterranean biome. That's just one. Hello, Jason. Nice to see you. So who else have we got? We'll give it another couple of minutes and we'll start. For anyone new, I just always come on 5 minutes early and say hello, because I know a few people got to the right page and then thought they were in the wrong place. So I come on and just sort of introduce myself and say hi, and generally stand here with my spotty cup of tea and drink a bit. So I hope you've got better weather than I have. I've got very misty, rainy view over Truro at the moment. So there you go. Now, please like and share this right now. That way some of your friends will pick up the live presentation. And also, please put comments on my Art Jeanni Facebook, not just in the dialogue underneath these, but maybe at the head of the page you can put in a comment if you'd be so kind. And also on my Art at the Beach page. And also, if you felt like it would be lovely if you put something on my TripAdvisor Art at the Beach as well. This is free, I'm not charging you anything, but if you're enjoying it, please do those things, because it makes such a difference to me, because then people will trust me and come to me. So hopefully you're enjoying it all. Okay, I think we shall start now. Now, as with everything I teach you, there's a number of ways you can do it. So please don't think that just because I've done it a certain way, you have to do it the same. Like yesterday with the theatre one we did, I used lurid green paper. Not because you should, but because literally it was the only colour paper I had in my room. So it could have been wallpaper, it could have been bits from a magazine, you could have drawn on white paper and painted it all in and made a beautiful front for your theatre. So don't think I'm telling you you must do it my way. I'm just showing you one of many ways you could go about it. I must admit, the theatre one, I'm quite tempted to make myself a really quite elaborate one, but I've got lots of things I need to work out how to do on the internet for teaching, so I don't know if it will actually happen or not. There we go. So I'll get rid of that one. I'm just going to drop my name down now, but for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Art Jeanni, and you can get me a number of different ways, but a nice easy one to remember is www.artatthebeach.co.uk. Right. First thing I've got is I've got thicker paper here. It's like 160 grams. So if you've got something thicker, even thicker than this would be good. Preferably white. It doesn't have to be A4 printing paper. That's what I tend to use each day, but just to make it easy for you. Now, we've done some of this before, so a bit of this is a bit of recap. And some of it is new. So first of all, we're going to draw a person onto this piece of paper. I'm going to do it in felt pen only so you can see what I'm doing, because if I draw in pencil you won't see me. I want you, please, hello Pamela and hello Anita, I would like you to draw in pencil at this stage, and really, really lightly, almost like a fairy drawing. So I'm going to draw a person. Now this was back to the very first lesson, no, the second one that I did with you. And this person is going to basically come from the top of the page down to about 3 fingers from the bottom. And if you want it to be a realistic looking person, if you measure yourself in heads down like that, I'm about 6.5 heads high. So if you made the head, you want it down fractionally, but at the top. And if you made the head, I'm doing it in dots, you'll be doing it in pencil just as a line, but I'm just doing it so it's not too dark. That would be my head, and it would be a boiled egg in pencil, just very lightly. Do it very, very gently, because then you can change your mind. I would then do a little bit of a neck coming down in dots again. And then I'm going to go across to my shoulders. Now if you look at my head, my shoulders are about twice the width of my head. And I'm going to do them almost as if I was drawing a coat hanger. And that coat hanger is coming out one side and then out that, because our coat hanger is the shape of our shoulders for a reason. So that's, now we've got a boiled egg, it's almost like a piece of sausage and a coat hanger. Okay, into that body now I'm going to do a big boiled egg like that, and that gives you the body, and then I'm going to give it a circle here for its bottom. Now if you're doing a child in yours, then you need the head to be bigger in comparison to the rest of the body. If you're doing an adult, you need it about a 6 for a woman anyway, maybe 7 for a man. I'm now going to do our sausages ideas, so I'm going to do sausage, sausage, and if you remember, if you take your shoe off right now and hold it up to your face, you'll find your foot is bigger than your head. So I need about 2 spare fingers of gap at the bottom if I can. If not, don't worry too much, because this is all a bit of fun. I'm going to put that leg coming out a funny angle just because I feel like it. So we've broken it down into little sections, and then I've got big feet at the bottom, and I'm just above the bottom of the page. Now my pen is running out, but that's no bad thing because it makes it look more like I'm sketching in pencil. I'm now going to put my arms on this person. So that's the first section of their arm, this bit. This is the second section of their arm, and there's a hand. In fact, I'm going to change my mind there and keep this hand away from the body. I think it might make it a bit more fun. I don't want it sticking out too far, but I'm going to have it there. I'm going to change my mind a couple of times, which is why it's good to draw lightly in pencil, because then you're not committed to anything. And then I'm going to put the other arm in, and I think I'm going to have this one as if it's on her hip like that. There we go. Okay, so I've got my person. Now I know in pencil where that person is. What I'm going to do now is draw them in, but I'm going to draw them as if they're almost naked, but I'm going to put them in their underwear. So depending on what you've drawn, you're drawing on underwear. And if you watch now, if I bring you a bit closer, let me just shift this over. It's getting caught on something. Let me move it a bit closer. There you go. Right, so I'm going to draw then round the chin of this person, but then I'm going to go straight into drawing their hair, because I don't need to draw the top of the head again because I know where it is. So we're going to make it a lady in my case. And there's her hair. And this bit I can draw in more darkly, or you could draw it in pencil again till you were happy, and then you could go over it. So you can see the pencil line underneath. I haven't gone over that pencil line again because I didn't need to. I just needed to put her hair straight on. Now I'm going down her neck and over her shoulder and then round her elbow, but I'm using a bit of common sense. I'm not just making her exactly the shape of my sausages. I'm joining things together gently, like here. She won't have a big dip here at her waist. It will go in a bit and then out again to her legs. Now I'm going to make this a girl rather than a woman. So there's her foot up the back of her leg. Remember, there's a bit of a calf there, so I'm going to put that out. Make her legs join in the middle. Don't have a big gap there. And round her knee and back up again. Oh, and I've missed out one arm, but you can see the person starting. Now, you could be really accurate with your proportions, or you can make it more like a cartoon. You could even go back and make one of the clowns that we did the other day and make this into a clown in his underwear, and you could give him some really funny underwear then. Let me just join that together. So there's my person, done very, very quickly. Now I'm going to put her in her underwear fast, so I'm going to give her a pair of knickers and a vest. There we go, just so she's not all undressed. So there's my little lady. You could put them in funny underwear, like baggy old bloomers like they used to wear in Victorian times. You could do whatever you like, that's up to you. What we're going to do then is put the eyes in. Now I've done eyes before with you, but quite a good way if you're doing it small is to do a couple of arches like that, and then put a great big black ball into it and colour all of that in black. And leave a little bit of white at the top. And then if it was a lady or a girl, you could give them a few little eyelashes if you wanted to. Now you can draw more realistic eyes than that, but just for speed, these big black bit, but make sure the black bit is huge because it doesn't work otherwise. And this pen's now running out. I'm having a very strange day of things breaking and not working, but there you go. Now you can see the eyes. And if you wanted to, you could give her a couple of little tear ducts, or him. A very simple way of doing a face is just to put the nostrils and not bother putting anything else. And another really simple way of doing a face is to draw a volcano, up your volcano, through the crater, down the other side of your volcano, join it all up and colour that in whatever colour, black or red or whatever you're going to do. And then only put a little shadow under the lower lip. And if you just do that, you get quite a cute little face. Okay, so there's that. Now, we've got my little lady, and in a minute, we're going to cut her out. And so we could make this bit down here grass or something if we wanted. But that's giving her support at the bottom, just so she doesn't fall over. So I got to do something like that at the bottom. And then in the end, what I'm going to do is cut her out and then connect that bit round, and that will give her stability. Right, that's one way we could do it. There's another way we could do it as well. But once we've done that, before we cut her out, we're going to change pens, in my case, because that one wasn't working. And this time, I'm going to take a sheet of paper. I'm going to take you over to my light box, which in your case is the window. And I'm going to lay my lady on top of the light box, and then with any luck it will stop flickering at you. There we go. If I bring it a bit closer, it should stop flickering too much. And you can see her clearly. When I lay my clean sheet of paper on top of her, I can see straight through. Now, if you do this at a window, you'll be able to see. And now what I can do is start making her clothes. So I'm going to make her a party dress. And I'm just going to draw where the clothes will go. So she's going to have big puffy sleeves on this party dress, like that. And I've got to make it all a little bit bigger than her. And it's going to come down here and it's going to go across in a yoke like this. Like that, and then it's going to come up, come down around her arms. Now this could be a man, it could be a woman. You could do one for each member of your family and put them on the dining table tonight so everyone knows where to sit, depending on what you've decided, where you've put them and what you've decided to dress them in. And here goes the rest of her dress like that. And I can leave a little bit of a gap. It's probably better actually if I hadn't put the hand over the dress there, but we'll manage like that. Now if I take that away, you'll see you've got an exact fit dress for my lady here. Now in fact my marks have gone through because I'm doing it in felt pen, so I suggest you don't go straight into felt pen because you'll get that same problem. And I might make her a pair of socks and shoes, and I might do that in one piece. So here goes her shoes, and they're going to have a buckle across them like that. And it looks like she's wearing rugby socks, but never mind. And then we're going to come around with her shoe again, make it bigger than her foot was. and I'll give it a little bit of a heel, not much, but just a tiny bit like that. And now I've got her first outfit. Now you could make a hat, you could make gloves, you could do what you liked. Before you can cut this out or colour it in or finish it, you've got to put some tabs on it that will make it sit onto her. So there's no point in me putting a tab here because it's got nothing to join onto. But if I put a tab here on her shoulders, then it would hook onto her. So I'm going to put a big tab just here, and it doesn't matter that it goes over her head because it will fold back behind her shoulders. So there's a tab going in there. I think I might try and get, where else can I put one? In fact, on this one it's difficult. I think maybe don't put the arm across when you do yours. But I might put a very big tab here and hope I can make it go right round behind her body, and the same over here. I might put a very big one. Now, at the moment that won't make much sense, but I'll just cut it out and I will show you. So if I turn you back round towards me again now, so you're not looking at the flickering light anymore. We've got these two things now. So I could make all manner of outfits for her or him or them. I think it would be quite fun to do a whole family like this. But do remember, I think I made a bit of a mistake putting one hand across her body. So keep their arms away so you've got more options to make tabs. You can obviously colour all of these. If you haven't got thicker paper to put this one on of the original person, then I suggest you maybe stick a piece of paper to a cereal packet or something just to make it a bit stronger. But you could do that again afterwards. You could draw it first. So I'm just cutting her out down to the grass, and then I'm cutting around the grass again. So that's one side done. I'm just going to whiz up the other side. Now I'm not going to cut down each blade of grass just for speed. I'm just going to show you that you could obviously cut in to each one. I'm going to cut round her now. So you could do a swimwear range. If you don't like drawing figures as well, another thing you could do is take a figure out of a magazine and hold it up to a window and actually trace that figure. So you've got a real figure in a real position. So if you're not happy, now again, to get that piece out, we fold it in half, snip into that hole there, and then chop out the excess. So I'm just going to chop round here. Ooh, and free her legs up. There we go. And it's cutting across that grass again that she was standing on. So you need quite a substantial bit at the bottom. She's there. I'm now going to cut this armhole out here by doing the same. Fold it a little bit, snip into the middle of the hole, and then once you've got somewhere to get your scissors in that's in that gap there, then you can cut out the excess again. Now you could make nurses wearing their outfits, and doctors, all the NHS workers and carers and things, or you could make people in uniforms, you could make your family. So there's my lady. I'm now going to quickly cut out her dress and her shoes. Now I forgot to draw the tabs on her shoes because they won't stay on without tabs, so I'm just going to put a tab here. Woo! I'm drawing back to front and upside down again, and a tab in here to sit it over her foot like that. And I'm going to cut these out. So I'm going to cut around that tab. I need the tabs, and you'll see why in a minute if you don't already understand. The tabs are key to making this work. Now I'm cutting out the big areas first, so I didn't cut into her neck, I just cut straight across the other tab. And again, like I've said before, always cut in if you can, don't cut out, and don't go all back to front with your arm. Now this could be a dog that you did. You could draw a picture of a dog and then you could give him different outfits, or a cat, or a clown, or even for your theatre that we did the other day. This is partly why I thought of doing this. You could make costumes for your actors for your theatre. So there's all sorts of things that you could do here. Now I've just got to cut a bit of a gap for her hand here, which was a bit of a mistake on my part. So even though I've thought these things up, you've always got to have an open mind, because I get things wrong as well. I'm cutting round my tab here, and then I'm cutting across the bottom of her dress. And I'm not going to do all the wriggles and jiggles because it will take me too long for now, because I just want to show you quickly. So I've taken her shoes away for a minute. I'm just going to cut along that tab there and then up under her arm. And I could have done all sorts of pretty and elaborate patterns on this, but I haven't. And here she is. So here's your lady. Here's her dress, beautifully fashioned by Jeanni Designs. And then if I put that over her and then fold these two tabs here, whoops, I didn't cut her hair out there, that's why that's not fitting. I missed a bit, let me just cut that out. Right, that'll work. So if I now put that in front of her, there's her pretty dress. I can bring it up there and fold that tab back behind her shoulder and fold that tab back over her shoulder. So it's good to have a tab on the shoulders because gravity will keep it in place then. So you've got that. And then I'm going to fold these big tabs back here so it goes and sits around behind her and holds her dress in place. So fold that one behind as well. So they're holding round behind her here at the back, the tabs, and at the front there she is wearing her beautiful dress. And then if I cut her shoes out, in fact that would be a problem as well because I haven't left enough room for the tabs, but you can get the idea. You can just basically make it all. So maybe you'd be better off drawing her shoes on directly because her feet are in that part. Then we could make her a completely different outfit, and you can make completely different people, and then she can change her clothes. So if you then stuck her like yesterday to a ruler, she could then be coming in off stage changing outfits if you did a big theatre. Now if I do another one quickly, you could make it that this time I'm going to do it here, and so I don't make your eyes go funny against my light box, but you should be able to see through still. And I can put her there and I can see her again, and this time I'm going to put her in a pair of jeans and a sweatshirt or something, or a t-shirt. And so this time I can cut completely different shaped clothes and give her a pair of jeans that comes around bigger than her legs, remember, and here where her leg bent there'll be some folds, and here where her leg bends there'll be some folds, and I could give the pockets on the jeans and the zip fastener and the belt, and I could give her a logo on her top for Superwoman or something, and I could give her stripes and whatever I liked. Then I need to again give this tabs. So the tab this time will be over her shoulder again, the same as before. And I'm going to give her this time a tab around the side of her body. And obviously the bottom of her legs I can't do because they're going to be on the solid bit of cardboard. And if I just chop this one out quickly, this time she's wearing jeans. I could have given her turn-ups on the jeans, I could have given her stitching down the legs of the jeans. I'm just cutting it all out and cutting from behind so you can see what I'm doing. Cut that big bit off first and then cut the little bit by cutting in, cut in, and cutting off the big bits here first. When I used to be in school teaching, I used to always tell children to cut all the larger bits off first, because that way you haven't got lots of paper flapping around in your way. So that bit's gone, and we're cutting in again, even if it means turning it upside down. And round the arms, cut in round my tab again, cut out the excess bit, and oops, quickly do that. So you could do a whole family of people, or a clown that's got 100 different costumes, or you can make each person different. And there's that outfit. And so now she's got 2 outfits to wear. And this time she's wearing her jeans outfit. Now, as I said, if you don't like drawing people, the best thing you can do is trace a person from a magazine, and then you can keep changing their clothes. So there she is in her day outfit, and here she is now in her party outfit. And as I said, you could do a whole series of them for different members of your family, or you could just do one who's got different clothes. It can be a clown, it can be somebody real. Now with these, you could fit them together a number of different ways, but the easiest one again is to do that slot thing that I showed you before, which is to cut a little slot upwards at one end halfway and downwards at the other end halfway. And then if you fold those 2 together, so there's the slot at one end, there's the slot at the other, turn it around like that and feed one slot into the other, like that. Give it a bit of a squidge and then she'll stand up. And that's the simplest way. If you want to, you could always make a kind of triangle and attach it to the back, or you could even attach it to a toilet roll at the back or something if you wanted to. But quite honestly, I think just doing those 2 slots that slide together and then sellotape it maybe in place, or not, you don't have to. And then you've got your figure with as many outfits as you want. You could use beautiful papers and things. So outfit 1, and then she's got her jeans outfit down here as well. It's now dropped on the floor. And you can have a bit of fun making a whole crowd of people, or fashion models, or members of your family, or whatever you want. And there she goes. So anyway, bit of nonsense. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to go and sort out all the things that I broke this morning, because I seem to have had a morning of things not working quite right in my house. So there you go. Oh, here it is, it's all gone wrong. Okay, well, do show me your pictures afterwards. Show me your theatres when you get them done. And one reason I did that today was because I thought you could link the theatre one and that one together. And as I said, if you attached your figure to your ruler, you could bring it on and off the stage that we did yesterday. So really the 2 were ideas that were to link together. Anyway, been lovely to see you all. Please like and share this, and please tell your friends about it. And if you do get the chance, pop something up saying something about me on Facebook or on TripAdvisor. As long as you're enjoying it, that would be fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow at 2:30. Bye.